I had to look at my watch to figure out if it's morning or afternoon. It all feels like afternoon to me. Good afternoon, and want to thank everybody for being here. Thank everybody that's tuning in on CUSATV.com and all around the galaxy that is tuned in for our media day. We would typically have two seniors up here. Kiana Evans is sick today, was not able to practice. She got the stomach bug. If the media day would have been yesterday, T wouldn't have been here because she had the stomach bug yesterday. So we're trying to get everybody healthy. And then we're also joined with junior Mackenzie Akers, who's back from a redshirt year, and we're excited to have her back most of the time. Just kidding. I guess I'll start off with a general statement. Glad to be back on the floor with a crew that I love. I love coaching them every day. There's no drama. There's no anything. We're just trying to get better. What that means is, to us, we're just trying to be better than we were the last play and the last day. I've got a crew that I really, really like in our coaching staff. We've had some new additions because of people's advancing their careers, but I've got a staff that I really feel good about, and we get to coach young women that are pretty cool to be around every day. That has nothing to do with basketball, but that's kind of me. So basketball-wise, I like our group. I like our team. And I say group and team because I think they're two different things. I think we have a basketball program. We have a basketball family. And our kids are trying to get better in every facet of all phases of the game every day. And I think we're dangerous in a lot of places on both sides of the ball, all over the floor, through all ages. That's pretty much all I have, but I'm happy to take any questions, and I'm sure Taliqua and Mackenzie will take any questions that you might have as well.
How much does it help you having Mackenzie back, the outside shooting aspect and such?
You know,
she didn't give you last year because she was hurt.
Yeah, and one of the things that you don't realize that you miss until it's gone and then it comes back, Narisha last year was kind of our voice on the floor, and she was always talking in every drill. Well, when we had Mackenzie, it was two people. And when Mackenzie went away, we just relied on Riri to do that. And Mackenzie being back has really helped that alone, aside from her skill set as a basketball player. But her ability and her level of comfort to say what's on her mind is a great attribute to this team. Because we're pretty young. I mean, we're pretty young. And we were really young last year. And I'm not so sure we're not younger or more inexperienced this year.
About your schedule out of conference, getting you ready for Conference USA.
Yeah, we have a tough non-conference schedule, and I kind of do that depending on the team that we have and kind of where we are. We even play in our non-conference schedule. We play back-to-back nights, and we were 80 minutes from the NCAA tournament last year, so I tried to do some things that were a little bit funky in scheduling to try and get us ready for that environment again. Our league is a really good league, but in the last couple of years, it's only been one team go, and that's the team that wins the NCAA tournament, so you have to be hot at the right time, and I wanted to try and train us to at least know what that feels like before we go into the break and then head into conference play. We're at North Carolina. We're at Illinois, open up at Illinois on 11/11 at 11 a.m. for their field trip day, and it's a storied program. We go to Penn State. We go to North Carolina. We have Florida A&M here, Coastal Carolina here. We've got some meat on that bone of the non-conference schedule, but it prepares us. I think it prepares us to learn about ourselves, and I think with our youth, it's important to learn who we are, and in order to make the next step. Last 4 years, last 2 of the 4 years, we win the WBI, the WNIT, and that next step is the NCAA tournament. And that's where we're shooting for, and I don't know when that will come. I'm not saying that'll come this year, but I think we're headed that way. I don't think that's apparent. I think it's apparent by the following we have on media day. I think it's apparent in our attendance. I think it's apparent in our postseason performances, and I think just in the way we carry ourselves, I think it's pretty obvious that that's where we're trying to go. 4 years ago we couldn't even talk about it. And now it's on the tip of our tongue. So when you're 80 minutes away from the NCAA tournament, it's pretty neat.
How big has that been for your program to go to the WBI, get a postseason win, play a second round game there, and then get to the WNIT
think it helps everything. I think going to the WBI 2 years ago helped us understand the importance and the fun that postseason can be, and I think it helped propel us into the WNIT. You know, there's like 164 teams that play in postseason or something like that. I don't, Jason, that math's roughly right. And to be one of those programs, especially with the absence of postseason play here for quite some time, it's pretty, not only important, it's pretty cool to just be a part of, even for you guys. You know, when you get to go film things and you get to go do things and you get to put it out on the university's behalf, it's pretty neat. It wasn't necessarily like that in my first media day here. The press conference was cool, but the first media day wasn't necessarily had the same feel. Now, we said what we were going to do, and people kind of said, sure you are. And now, you know, we've become the cool thing to do locally. We've got commitments, and I mean, we've got probably 5 commitments in the 17 class, a commitment in the 18 class, a commitment in the 19 class. And we're talking about local kids. It's just pretty cool. I think it helps in attendance. I believe in educating our own. I think it helps Marshall University long after you and I are gone, because I think this is going to be an experience that they're proud of, and it's a program they're proud to be a part of and give back to. You know, like we were at the endowment dinner the other night. I can see one of these ladies giving that speech, and that's what I see that they can't see, but you guys understand that because we've been around it, and that's what I see for the future of this program off the court, which is way more important than what happens on. This happened. We've got a sophomore on our roster right now that we offered a sophomore in high school, and the sophomore in high school took it. She committed. The sophomore in college cried out of happiness for the sophomore in high school, and the sophomore in college cried for the sophomore in high school. They may play together 1 year. Has nothing to do with basketball. Nothing. That's pretty cool. And we're trying to get Tia another year back.
Yeah.
We're trying to get, and we don't know how that's going to play out, but with her being with Child 2 years ago and her sit out, and she only played like 12 minutes her sophomore year. Is that right? Sophomore year at Cincinnati, we're trying to get her another year back. And we don't know if that's going to work out or not. And 2 years ago when we got her, if it didn't work out, she'd have been done. She would have just collapsed. But now it's just a bonus bucket. You know, and we talk to them all the time. I talked to them literally today in a drill. You have to be willing to risk it all with no reward. And so we're going to lay it all out there because we feel like we've got a pretty good case of everything that she's been through, and that we think that there's some precedent set by that, and the league supports that. So we're going to try and get her a year back. If we get it back, great. If we don't, still been a great experience. She couldn't have handled that 2 years ago. She undervalues what she brought to the team last year and helping Shayna, Logan, Maddie, Tana, you know, the freshmen. I mean, Tana was a freshman who tore hers. She undervalues and can't appreciate that right now just because she can't see it. She'll understand that when that's why everybody in the room laughs when she said, I can tell it's raining outside, because everybody in the room knows what she's talking about. But, you know, I wanted to help my team last year when they went to WNIT. She has no idea how much she helped her team. That they would talk about Kenzie when she wasn't on the bus. She has no idea. And now she gets to high five. You know, and we talk about that. I mean, that's communication. And energy is irreplaceable. People are replaceable. Energy isn't.
Earlier today, too, her know-how with, I mean, the background of her family and the knowledge of basketball today, you all were out there practicing, and you stopped the team for a second. She goes, I know, Coach, I'm sorry. Like, she has that knowledge to help sort of overcome the injuries and the limitations that she's had because of the surgery. Does that help Tana in ways that aren't seen to?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's no doubt. And all of ours are starting to recognize that. First of all, our basketball IQ is higher. Second of all, there's been enough after 4 years now. You know, this is going to be your third?
Yeah, playing it. 4 here.
4 here. This is going to be our 4th year in it.
Yeah.
So she's Riri. You know what I'm saying? So now she knows what to expect, and the more you get that, and then the more experience the younger ones get, that just becomes commonplace. it'll get to where I don't even have to say Kinsey. I can just go, sk. Yeah. You know, I do that with Steele and Brett, and they know, you know, and it's just like, yeah, I got it. And you don't have to, and then they start to coach themselves. That's when you have a good program. That's not a team, that's a program. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Both you and Dan, I know that you and Dan have a tight relationship. Both of y'all are, have lost players that were key figures scoring and
Sure.
from a leadership perspective. Do you and him talk about ways to overcome those, the losses and bring other kids into those leadership roles as well?
We don't talk about leadership much. Like I don't have captains on our team. I'm a captain. I'm a captain. Now they get to go talk to the officials before they get, but I'm in charge of the locker room. I'm in charge of all that. And I don't know how Dan does that. We talk X's and O's a lot, and we have a similar philosophy, and I think we both steal ideas. But he has a great basketball mind, and not even a basketball mind. He has a great basketball background, just what he's been exposed to that I haven't been exposed to. We've taken different paths. But obviously he had them rocking at the right time last year, and just came up short in the conference tournament and had, close games here with money on the line, for titles and all that kind of stuff. But he's obviously done a good job with that program in a short period of time. But we're in the dog days right now. I mean, I shave my head because my wife likes it. I have my beard because my wife likes it. But I'm really just focused on the next 4 days, and he's doing the same with his program. If you looked at, he hadn't had a haircut. We're just on the flip side of it. I didn't want to maintain it. He's just letting his go. And so we're in the dog days of our own programs right now, and so we don't get to talk. It's just in passing. We saw each other today before the media day. What time do you go? Oh, okay. What time do you go? But that's about it.
How important has that camaraderie between the programs been during your all's progression, both of your all's programs? It seemed like you all fed off each other a little bit last year. They got successful, and both teams kept it rolling during the week.
I think that chemistry makes it easier. And, I appreciate how much Dan is willing to talk to me about basketball. I hope he feels the same. But we don't get mushy, we don't get mushy. So, but I think that because I've been a part of programs as an assistant, as a head coach, where you don't necessarily get along, and I don't understand that. I've been on the men's side, and I've been on the women's side, but I'm a coach's kid, so I don't get how you could not respect each other. I don't understand that. So I think the chemistry or camaraderie, however you want to vocabulary it, however you want to define it, I think it makes everything easier.
How are your newcomers this year?
Love them. I love them. They're better than I thought. They're better than I thought right now. I know how good they're going to be, but they're better than I thought right now. Now we have a small roster, so they're gonna be thrown to the fire, but they're a good group.
Drills like today, you all did a 5-minute shooting drill in 4 minutes, and you challenged them. You saw some of those newcomers sort of get a little bit wide-eyed, like he's expecting us to do what. At the end result, I think you all came up 3 short of the goal. Do you see that sort of click in their head a little bit, like, hey, we were that close to doing it?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something bigger than that, and I know you guys are trying to go, and I'll try and keep it short. So we didn't get it, right? And I want them to feel the heat because I think we can do a 5-minute shooting drill in 4 minutes because I think we shoot it. But we didn't make it, and I offered them the opportunity. I offered them to gamble a little bit. We got a 55 right now. You can go again and have nothing, but if you win. But if you lose, then you got 3 55s, okay? So there were a couple of them, and we got to all be in. There were a couple of them that just wanted to run, all right? There were a couple of those that just wanted to run the one and didn't want to gamble, lay it all on the line with no reward, just like I just talked about with Talik, but this was the example I was using today. Then after we did that, we did a free throw drill. Well, free throws, that's just, that's basically mentality and repetition, muscle memory. Some of those people didn't shoot free throws as well. Is that mentality? I think so. And it was a great educational point of teaching them what your mind drives it. Your mentality drives it. And so I think there's a lot of things clicking and a lot of things, but when you're so young, there's going to be a lot of those things. But what is really neat is you can say, do you understand? And you can see it's not a blanket, sure, I understand. It's like a, aha. That's when it's special. That's when it's special.
What do you think of her? That's twice she's pulling it out now. She's had Mackenzie too. What do you say to her?
You don't have to say much to Mad, because her faith is so strong. And I said, can you get back from this? Because it's the same one. She goes, I don't know why not. And that's what you're looking for, because you got to be able to push through those things. I hate it for her, but it's not my plan. It's not my plan. It's not her plan. And she understands that as well as anybody we've got.